All day long, we received dozens of messages from families across our area upset over how late the local schools and colleges waited to cancel classes today. Of course, the issue of staying open or closed is very complicated. We take a deep look now with team coverage, starting with the cancellation timeline. Here's KXAN meteorologist David Yeomans.
Austin was the first of the big districts to warn folks about possible delays Monday night. They even issued the 2-hour delay before most kids went to bed. Other districts like Round Rock and Pflugerville, though, stayed silent. The weather intensified into Tuesday morning, as you could see during KXAN News today.
And be careful. The kids, as they get out to the bus stop, could certainly have some very slick sidewalks. And when you get temperatures below that freezing mark, it doesn't take much for that those icy conditions to stick to the roadways.
Despite that warning, Round Rock and Pflugerville waited more than an hour and a half. Round Rock sent its tweet at 8:15. Pflugerville ISD sent its alert about a delay just minutes before 8. Austin's school district called off classes altogether around 8:30 this morning, though some students were already on the buses. The other districts followed suit 40 minutes later. David Yeomans, KXAN News.
Well, plenty of parents were upset with those late decisions, and they let the districts know about it. We received dozens of emails and noticed a lot of posts on the district's Facebook pages. Those late decisions meant some kids were stranded at school, and parents had to reshuffle their schedules yet again. KXAN's Don Denny takes a deeper look with some districts' explanations about exactly what happened.
I kind of like school.
Ethan Craig was one of several elementary school students dropped off on time this morning at school. He attends Blackland Prairie in Round Rock, but after he was dropped off, the school called for a delay and later called school off altogether. That forced several parents all around the area to head back to school.
We started making Valentine's cards and then watched a movie.
And now, as the school districts try to explain their late decisions, some parents say they feel they were put at risk twice. Once trying to get the kids to school on time and then trying to pick them up.
I think it was irresponsible. I really do.
There was a couple parents getting really mad. But you can't get mad in situations like this, you know? We can't predict the weather.
It's a hard decision, I suppose, for the schools, but I mean, based on last week, probably they should just cancel the school.
The apologies are now pouring in from districts. We sincerely apologize, said Lake Travis ISD in a parent letter. Pflugerville ISD said they were sorry, but made the call as soon as it became apparent road conditions were unsafe. Dripping Springs ISD said their bus drivers left at 6 a.m. but found the roads too icy. The superintendent says hindsight is 20/20, and he says he wishes he would have made the call earlier. Most districts say they plan to make up these days on Good Friday and Memorial Day. Dawn Denny, KXAN News.
And really, the unpredictability of today's system made for a difficult call all the way around, Jim.
Well, the winter weather advisory was issued 18 hours in advance of the ice storm that started this morning. But in their defense, it did appear at 4 o'clock this morning, when some of those decisions were being made, that the precipitation was winding down. Temperatures were still a couple of degrees too warm, but that changed very suddenly. Let me show you how. You're looking at the radar at 4 o'clock this morning. Nothing falling in Austin or the metro area. Roads are fine. A few patches of freezing precipitation, a little bit of sleet back up to the northwest. Looks like we might escape an ice storm, but then suddenly, look what happens. By 6 a.m., the last wave of moisture begins intensifying right over the metro area and eastern hill country. The pink being freezing rain, the blue including some snowflakes there. Here we are at 7 a.m. By this time, many commuters are already on the roads, buses are already on the roads, and the freezing rain is beginning to stick to roadways. Roads are becoming slick and hazardous. It begins to wind down by 8, but by that time, there's gridlock, there's chaos around the area. And then it ends at 9, 10 o'clock, but the temperatures are still below freezing, and so we still have plenty of problems. So unfortunately for decision makers like school superintendents, it was a terrible coincidence that that last wave of moisture, arrived right at rush hour, dropping that temperature, kind of a perfect storm really at the worst possible time when those commuters and buses were already on the roads.